Well, that went well. In fact, it went fucking great.
Heaven won't hold us.
So we're at the Comedian in Brighton for this music industry event, which is very exciting. There's loads of shit happening, and we've got Al over here who's going to be doing some extra videoing.
In and out of danger, but when I look at you, I realise that we're still strangers. 'Cause every time things get more defined, like the cracks in our face. But you and I both miss the grind and the thrill of the chase. So when we're gonna leave this place.
Back by the bar, the best place. I just had an English lesson from Sarah, who's from France and speaks better German than me, and she's now teaching me English. So we just had a panel of music industry guests, which was Bruce. You'll see some of the footage, but Bruce. Jimmy from a band called Tiger Cub are doing really well. Els Bailey, who's a country blues artist, as well as her manager, a guy called Tim, who's from Wrapped Up Management, and the girl who does press for her, and PR, Claire Lloyd from Central Press. And it was amazing, actually. It was amazing because we're dealing with we're dealing with that DIY side, but taking it to the next level of what happens when it's becoming very difficult to manage things yourself, because at that point, you do need help. You do need to start bringing people in because you can self-manage to a certain level. So it's very, very interesting to hear sort of from them. We're going to get some of that stuff into blogs and into probably a video in itself at some point, which I'm really excited about. There's a bunch of stuff coming up, but I'm just chatting to some MA students from everything from social media through to covers bands. We're talking about niches. We had a really good conversation a minute ago about niches of why now is the best time to be a shred guitarist, or why now is the best time to be in a ridiculously crazy technical metal band, because you can get to these tiny audiences all over the world. So we were talking about that. So this event is really exciting, and what I'm really excited is that Bruce is putting on another 3 or 4 of them. We've got a bunch more people coming in a bit, so I'll do another piece to camera in a bit, but there's going to be a bunch more talks. I'm going to do a talk. Bruce is going to do a talk. So I've drunk so much tea that I'm buzzing my tits off, and I'm going to stop because I think Sarah's arms are hurting. So I'll keep you posted.
When we're gonna leave this place.
The next thing to do with that then, if you've got a mimed video, is you need to have crowds in your video and pictures. Because when a bride or a client is looking to book a band, what they want to do is they want to put themselves in the place of the audience member, or that's what they will do, put themselves. So if all of a sudden they're looking through pictures and there's the band playing and there's people just being like this, or dancing or going crazy or going amazing, that's the bit that's the social proofing. The big thing is if you can get, like every time you do a gig, without fail, you need a picture. So I would say this on every gig to every band. What I would do is I would get to the biggest point of the set, not the end of the set, the biggest point of the set, which for me is always Mr. Brightside, 4th song into the 2nd set, where I'm about to take it up. And as soon as everyone's like, oh, everyone joins the dance floor, and I'm looking around and I go, now, and I say, right, before we do the next song, I want a picture with you guys for our social media. And at that point, I say, squish in, squish in, squish in. I get the drummer on his stool to take a picture, and the rest of the front line of the band get actually into the crowd, turn around, and then you've got the whole crowd and the band doing this. And what you're doing that for is not just a picture in a moment in time. It's not just social media that's going to be shared by the guests at this wedding, but also some other person who's going to be booking is going, they look like they're having fun. That's what I want.
But I know you'll be there to break my fall, my fall.
Right, literally having a quick coffee break, and then I'm going to go and do a talk. It's been really interesting because we've heard from a plugger, we've heard from a radio DJ, and it's been really interesting that the people who kind of up in the top end level of the music industry, they diss social media quite a lot. Very patronising with social media, which I find very frustrating. It's 2017. The quicker you get this into your head, this is 2017. In 1 month's time, it's going to be 2018. The key is consumption. It's how people listen to music, it's how people find out about you, and it's how you engage with your audience. Everything else is fucking bullshit until you get that into play. After that, getting to radio, it's not about can you get to radio so you can build your audience. That's a bullshit rhetoric. It's about can you build your audience and get the engagement, that's the key, the engagement to push you into place where radio will want to play you because it builds their audience. Radio is as fickle as any other fucking industry in the entire world. Radio wants listeners. It wants to look after their audience and get more audience. If you're going to bring 1 million people to their radio show, are they going to play it? You better fucking believe they're going to play it. So therefore, this is still the same thing. You build an audience, you build a fucking army, and you let that army do what it needs to do, and everyone else absolutely will fall in line. And I'm a bit angry about it.
You can build the audience and actually start getting proper engagement. That's when you have lots of options. You have the power. If you're in a metal band, someone has given you their like. 500 people have given you their like. You said earlier on, it's not massive numbers. It's fucking mental though, isn't it? 500 people have gone, I fucking love you, enough to say, tell me everything that you're doing. It's bonkers. It's mental. I'm with you. I'm fucking right there with you, I am. 500 of those people, and soon it'll be 1,000 if you look after those 500 people, and that 1,000 will go to 10,000 if you look after them right, and 10,000 will be 1 million, etc., etc., etc. Because you looked after them and you gave people what they want. The power of one person, 500 people you've got. You look after one person like they have never, ever, ever been looked after, and they will tell 10 people. But I don't mean you look after them by going, I tell you what, if you like my thing, I'll give you 20% off our new single. That's not looking after someone. I'll tell you what looking after someone is. Looking after someone is saying, I'm going to come to your fucking house. That's looking after someone. Am I right, Paul? I want to look after you. I've known Paul for a while. And I've got his house, whatever you want. Sit, talk music. Because I value Paul, like you have no idea how much I value Paul. Like, you've no idea. And you guys, if you follow my stuff, there's not a lot. If I can do it, I'm going to do it. Because you have no idea how much that's worth. So you're looking after people, the one. You look after the one and you don't look after the 500. You don't look after the 10,000. You look after every single person. And the way you do that is things like, for example, when someone comes along and they comment on your stuff and they just say, oh dude, that's freaking awesome. Do you know what I see quite a lot? I see this. Thumb. Like, I'm like, ugh. When I see that, I physically feel ill. Like, I'm like, oh God. Someone's just walked up. Can you imagine that? Imagine walking up to someone in a bar and be like, dude, you're from the band. Oh, I love you. Imagine if you just went. They'd be like, oh, what a dick. It's an opportunity, is what that is. As soon as someone comes along and they just say, oh my God, I love you, that's the opportunity for you to go, yes. Ka-ching! That's the chance where you can be like, tell me more about you, or what do you do, or what other bands do you do, or do you like this band because I love this band, have you checked out this band? I don't want to even let them get away. They're like, oh, this dude's fucking freaking me out now, he's starting to ask me too many questions. And I'm like, engage with me, be my friend, because that is what drives it. So when someone says numbers, I'm like, no, not numbers. Numbers of people that will make a difference to my life. That's a difference. You missed the last big part of the sentence. By the way, just before we have the last question, can I just put an obvious plug in? Is if you don't follow me on social media, you need to. You can choose, but I probably prefer all of them. And if you do, I will look after you like you've never been looked after before. Good. Okay, thanks very much.
Well, that went well. In fact, it went fucking great. One in the arm for social media. I just feel like I was a bit angry earlier on because it was just such a small, it's this music industry thing that people are so desperate to get into, and it's this fucking tiny. Meanwhile, the rest of the world are actually making things happen for themselves, and social media is such a big part of that. And when people talk about numbers instead of engagement, it's just people who don't understand the power of social media and are thinking of it in an old school way, so it just frustrates me. But I just got up on stage and I punched everyone in the face, so it's fine. But everyone's been super lovely today. I feel like I have learned loads. I feel like I've met some amazing people. And one thing I was talking about was just being able to look after people like they've never been looked after. And I really want to look after you like you've never been looked after. And I feel like I'm meeting people every day who have got really interesting creative projects. And that triggers me, and then I love it. So amazing day, same again tomorrow, but we're all off to the pub to just talk music in different genres. So that was fun. Keep you posted. See you tomorrow.
Baby, don't worry about me, don't worry about me, I know I'll be out cold soon. Baby, don't worry about me, don't worry about me, I know I'll be out cold soon.